Dave Ellen of Bridgeton. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Hey, pretty good, man. It's a great Saturday. Not even 70 degrees yet, and we're 2 weeks away, man. I'm fired up about the season.
Yeah, so are we down here. So are we. Feel good. A little better than it did yesterday.
Talk about your squad. Obviously, going into a new division in the West Jersey Football League. Pretty tough division. Atlantic City, Egg Harbor Township, Vineland, Millville, Prep. No cupcakes in that schedule.
No, real tough, man. You got to bring your A game each and every week. Great coaches at every one of those schools you just mentioned. They're going to have their teams well prepared. We're all right in the same boat right now, just trying to try to tune things up for 2 weeks. From now, we're pretty excited though.
Coach, a little bit of a trend here the last couple of years with you guys. Slow starts, and then you get real hot at the end of September, early October. A couple of 7-game winning streaks the last 2 years. How do you explain that, and what are you trying to do to get off to a little bit of a quicker start this year?
And both of those situations, we're in that situation really again this year. In graduation, we lost. I think the previous year we lost a lot of our skill kids, and we had to replace them. And as a coach, you hope that everybody catches on real quick, and you're going to be ready for that first game, and things are going to look good. But in the back of your mind, that's not going to happen. It takes time for those kids to get that varsity experience and gel together. And that's kind of what happened last year and the previous year. And I think we're in the same boat this year. We graduate a lot of our guys up front, our interior line on offense and defense. And we're going to have to replace those kids. We have some kids right now that look pretty good. But again, it even takes those kids a little bit longer up front, unfortunately. But they're progressing pretty quick, and they're looking good in the scrimmages. And we hope that, again, you're hopeful that that's going to come together sooner than later.
We're talking with Dave Ellen, head coach at Bridgeton High School for the football team. And, Coach, you do have one pretty decent player, Marquise Bell. Talk about him a little bit and what he means to that program.
Yeah, great kid, good individual. He's a good team leader. He's more of a leader, by example. Works very hard. He's played. Started for us will be his 4th year as a starter. Plays multiple positions for us. Played quarterback 2 years ago. Was strictly a wideout last year, and that's not true. He played some running back. He played all over the field last year. He'll play more quarterback though this year. Along with moving around a little bit on defense. He's our safety. He's probably the most recruited kid I've had here in 28 years. That's saying something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys have had some pretty good players throughout the years at Bridgeton. Coach, what's that like for you as a high school football coach? The recruiting process. What's your responsibility, and how much interaction do you have with college coaches? What's kind of give us a sense of what that's like on the coaches side of things. We know a lot about what it's like for a player. How much time do you have to devote to a guy like that who's getting recruited by 20, 30 schools?
It's a lot of time. It's just big business. College football. A kid like Bell and Bo Meltner, the coaches had it kind of easy in South Jersey last year. They would go down to Cedar Creek and then work their way up here and then up to North Jersey on a kind of a little route. They come to school, and sometimes it's one coach. Sometimes you'll see 5 during the school day. They really want the kids to visit campus, of course, to get a feel of campus life there. So it's important to get the kids up there to get that feel. It's to see how it's going to be on campus to meet some of their players. I think that's real important. The academic situation, they talk to each school's academic advisors, and they get kind of a feel that everybody's pretty similar, but there are some differences. And I think the most important part with Marquise, anyways, is the relationship with the coaches. And there's differences there too. And again, it's going to be more feeling on his part. I try to stay out of it, much like I do with my kids when they went to school. I like certain aspects, but I'm not going there. I just try to facilitate his decision making. He's kind of narrowed it down now, which is good. And I don't think, of course, there is some pressure on it, but not as far as the coach is trying to have them make a decision because they got to fill their rosters. But for the most part, they're laying back, and I think he's at peace where he is right now, and I think he's going to make his decision sometime in December.
We're talking with Bridgeton football coach Dave Ellen. Dave, with a guy like Marquise, obviously one of the most highly recruited players in New Jersey, what kind of advice do you give him? I mean, every college football coach is coming in trying to make their sales pitch. How do you decipher what's real and what isn't, and if what they're saying, can be taken at face value?
Yeah, that's it almost comes off sometimes like a sales pitch, and you want to try and sift through the all the bells and whistles and get down to the meat. If Marquise came back to me and said that hey, they're getting new uniforms next year, new helmet design, that's really cool. That would be a problem. But he's never come away with in all of the facilities and stuff like that. It is more the coach's interest in him and kind of life after football, because that's going to be gone soon, and that's the more that's kind of what we're trying to push. And the coaches, when it comes down to it, the coaches pitch that more so than the other bells and whistles. It's more football is going to be done in some time in your life, and what are you going to do after that? It's and Marquise is really into that. And the schools that he's interested in now all have that same philosophy on life after football. So,
Coach, what does it mean to your program to have a kid like that with that kind of athletic ability, that kind of talent, that kind of work ethic? I'm sure it has to rub off on the other guys. I mean, here's a guy who he wants to be a high-level Division I college football player, and that means a lot of time spent in the weight room, a lot of time with maybe some kind of new age training techniques, and how much of that filters down into the younger guys on the team?
I bet it does a lot. Not only in the weight room, it's just coaches that come into the building. You see a freshman kid comes in, he sees all these big time programs coming into the building. They want a piece of that. How did Bell get that? He worked real hard. Okay, what do you have to do? You have to follow his example, and that's like you said, that's very catchy. And it's and they know that dream can be real too, because it's happening right in front of them. And that's a good thing. That's a positive. And of course, my job is to bring them down. Not everybody's going to be at that level, but if you want to play football in college, I think there's a place you can play. And anywhere you're going to be playing, you have to work hard. And Bill's the perfect example.
I think one of the most interesting things is to kind of sit back and remember that these kids are 16, 17 years old. I know talking to Bo Melton at Cedar Creek, and when Amir Mitchell was getting recruited, guys like Harbaugh and Urban Meyer were coming into the school, and Bo would be like, hey, that's Coach Harbaugh, and Coach Harbaugh would know who he is, know his name, and that, he was just thrilled that a big-time college football coach knew who he was. So it's kind of neat to see these kids getting the attention, and what's that like as a coach when you see a kid get all wide-eyed about a big-time Division I college football coach coming in and talking to him? And it's got to be such a surreal experience for a kid who's 17 years old.
For a kid, it's for me too. I watch him too. In Urban Meyer's office, talking with this guy. That's you got to pinch yourself sometimes. It's crazy. It all happened, pretty quick. I'm sure, in Bo's example, his recruiting, just blew up last year, and all of a sudden, he's talking to Harbaugh, like you said, Harbaugh and Meyer, and Bill is too. It's I think those kids, though, probably after the second or third time, they're, it's like a business as usual for them. We kind of sit back and watch them go through the recruiting process, watch them, get their campus tours, and it's crazy. But at the beginning, I think Bill's sophomore year up at Rutgers was when I really saw he was more like a kid, and like you said, his eyes opened up. Coach Bud came over to him, in front of everybody at camp, and offered him in front of everybody. That was pretty neat to see. It's fun for me as a coach, watching a kid, work so hard and having his dreams kind of become realized. It's kind of a proud moment for us here.
Talking with head coach Dave Ellen for Bridgeton football. Coach, talk about the West Jersey Football League, the first year of this super conference, and from the coaches and players I've talked to around the league, really excited about this. They know there's going to be tougher schedules. It's a lot more balanced in terms of the bigger schools playing the bigger schools, the smaller schools playing the smaller schools. And I think a lot of coaches and players are really excited about the challenges they're going to be facing. You look at a team like Cedar Creek, they're going to have to play Camden and Haddonfield at a conference. Teams in your division, that's a tough league in itself. Millville, Vineland's coming up strong. They got some great players. Atlantic City, EHT, and the prep is always the prep. So, what's your feeling on the new league? I'm sure, like a lot of guys, you're pretty excited about the new challenges it's going to present.
Yeah, so to me, it's always just fun. Fun. We've had the privilege of almost every year we've played somebody out of conference. We went to Riverdale last year. That was a great experience. We've been to Kittatinny, Springfield over in Pennsylvania. It's nice. It's a great experience for the kids. Playing somebody different. And like you said, it's a new challenge. You're getting ready for a new opponent. You've never seen it before. And they run a different type of offense or defense you've never seen. Some of the coaching staffs I'm not real familiar with, and it's nice for me to get to know some other coaching staff. Like you said, though, it's going to be each and every week in our conference. It's going to be a banger, and you got to be well prepared. I think the biggest thing that we're going to have to do, we don't have the numbers that some of the other schools do, and we're going to have to really be aware of the third and fourth quarter, kind of trying to win that war of attrition. That's going to be our main focus.
We'll get those boys in shape, Coach. Let's go, man.
Yeah.
2 weeks away.
Yeah, we're out here right now.
All right. Good stuff, Coach. I'll let you get back to coaching, and thanks for taking a few minutes. We'll catch up with you later in the season.
Great. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
All right. That was Coach Dave Ellen of Bridgeton High School football team.